There was once a sheepdog whose master behaved ill to him and did not give him enough to eat, and when for hunger he could bear it no longer, he left his service very sadly. In the street he was met by a sparrow, who said,
"Dog, my brother, why are you so sad?"
And the dog answered, "I am hungry and have nothing to eat." Then said the sparrow,
"Dear brother, come with me into the town. I will give you plenty."
They went together in the town, and soon they came to a butcher's stall, and the sparrow said to the dog,
"Stay here while I reach you down a piece of meat."
And he perched on the stall, looked around to see that no one noticed him, and pecked, pulled, and dragged so long at the piece that lay near the edge of the board that at last it slid to the ground. The dog picked it up, ran with it in a corner, and ate it up. Then said the sparrow,
"Now come with me to another stall, and I will get you another piece, so that your hunger may be satisfied."
When the dog had devoured the second piece, the sparrow asked,
"Dog, my brother, are you satisfied now?"
"Yes, as to meat I am," answered he, "but I have had no bread." Then said the sparrow,
"Then also shall you have. Come with me."
And he led him to a baker's stall, and pecked at a few little rolls until they fell to the ground. And as the dog still wanted more, they went to another stall farther on, and got more bread. When that was done, the sparrow said,
"Dog, my brother, are you satisfied yet?"
"Yes," answered he, "and now we will walk a little outside the town." And they went together along the high road. It was warm weather, and when they had gone a little way, the dog said, "I am tired, and would like to go to sleep."
"Well, do so,"
said the sparrow.
"In the meanwhile, I'll sit near on the bough."
The dog laid himself in the road and fell fast asleep, and as he lay there, a wagoner came up with a wagon and 3 horses laden with 2 casks of wine. The sparrow, seeing that he was not gonna turn aside, but kept in the beaten track, just where the dog lay, cried out,
"Wagoner, take care, or you shall suffer for it."
But the wagoner, muttering, "What harm can it do to me?" cracked his whip and drove his wagon over the dog, and he was crushed to death by the wheels. Then the sparrow cried,
"Thou hast killed the dog, my brother, and it shall cost thee horses and carts."
"Oh, horses and cart?" said the wagoner. "What harm can it do me, I should like to know?" and drove on. The sparrow crept under the covering of the wagon and picked at the bungle of one of the casks until the cork came out, and all the wine ran out without the wagoner noticing. After a while, looking round, he saw that something dripped from the wagon, and on examining the casks, he found that one of them was empty, and he cried out, "Oh, I'm a ruined man!"
"Not ruined enough yet,"
said the sparrow, and as the wagoner drove on with the 2 horses that were left, the sparrow crept again under the wagon covering and pecked the cork out of the second cask, so that all the wine leaked out. When the wagoner became aware of it, he cried out again, "Oh, I'm a ruined man!" But the sparrow answered,
"Not ruined enough yet,"
and perched on the second horse's head and began pecking at his eyes. Back ran the wagoner and raised his axe to strike, but the sparrow flying aloft, the stroke fell on the horse so that he was killed. "Oh, I'm a ruined man!" cried the wagoner.
"Not ruined enough yet,"
said the sparrow, and perching on the 3rd horse, began pecking at his eyes. The wagoner struck out in his anger at the sparrow without taking aim, and missing him, he laid the 3rd horse dead. "Oh, I'm a ruined man!" he cried.
"Not ruined enough yet,"
answered the sparrow, flying off.
"I'll see to that at home."
So the wagoner had to leave his wagon standing and went home full of rage. "Oh," said he to his wife, "what ill luck I have had! The wine is spilled, and the horses are all 3 dead."
"Oh, husband,"
answered she,
"such a terrible bird had come to this house. He has brought with him all the birds of the air, and there they are in the midst of our wheat, devouring it."
And he looked, and there were thousands upon thousands of birds sitting on the ground, having eaten up all the wheat, and the sparrow in the midst. And the wagoner cried, "Oh, I'm a ruined man!"
"Not ruined enough yet,"
answered the sparrow.
"Wagoner, it shall cost thee thy life."
And he flew away. Now the wagoner, having lost everything he possessed, went indoors and sat down angry and miserable behind the stove. The sparrow was perched outside on the window sill and cried,
"Wagoner, it shall cost thee thy life."
Then the wagoner seized his axe and threw it at the sparrow, but it broke the window sash in 2 and did not touch the sparrow, who now hopped inside, perched on the stove, and cried,
"Wagoner, it shall cost thee thy life."
And he, mad and blind with rage, beat in the stove, and the sparrow flew from one spot to another, hacked everything in pieces, furniture, looking-glasses, benches, table, and the very walls of his house, and yet did not touch the sparrow. At last he caught and held him in his hand.
"Now," said his wife, "shall I not kill him?"
"No," cried he. "That would be easy death. I will swallow him." And as the bird was fluttering in the man's mouth, it stretched out its head, saying,
"Wagner, you should cast it alive!"
Then Wagner reached the axe to his wife, saying, "Wife, strike me, this bird dead." The wife struck, but missed her aim, and the blow fell on Wagner's head, and he dropped down dead. But the sparrow flew over the hills and away.